Thank you for joining us today for the virtual Sunday service with the Center for Creative Living. CCL, a charter of the Universal Church of the Master, has served and supported the spiritual needs of its community here in the Bay Area for over 20 years.
Good morning, good morning. If you could all be seated. Isn't it beautiful weather? Isn't it time? I know we had glorious rain, which the planet needs, but now we're getting the sun of spring. And so I don't know about you, but our lawn needs cut. All the flowers are blooming. We came out and all the flowers are blooming in the flower bed. And you have to go, whoa, it's like today our planet, especially right here in San Jose, is saying, it's Earth Day. Yay. Hey, I'm showing what Mother Earth can do and what Mother Earth can look like. So today we're having a very interesting energy. Last week we talked a little bit about April, but I want to talk a bit more about her today. For those of you who don't know, Reverend April Lussier was one of our trustees, was one of our board members at CCL. So she is really going to be missed. Not only was she an attendee, but she was also part of the machinery that runs it. So with her having made her transition, and then our dear Annie, Reverend Annie, hasn't been feeling too well. So, and she's another trustee. So we have an opening. If anybody's ever wanted to be a trustee in a church organization, please see me afterwards, and we'll talk about it. And it needs meeting for meetings at least twice a year, and also coming up with new and exciting ideas. And also sitting and gossiping a lot. Because the gossiping and I'm talking about is how do you bring spirituality to the younger people? Mm-hmm. Because the other trustee is sitting right here, and that's Lauren. And so she brings in the energy of younger people and with all of us old farts, okay? Can I say that on the microphone, Ed?
You already did. We've already been identified.
Okay, well, that's what happens here. Yes.
I just wanted to
yes, Chris.
I just wanted to say that Can you come on the mic, please? Sure.
We've got a mic right here. You could even come up and sit. I mean, all the walking and hiking and everything, you know.
Yeah. Without anyone's permission, I just wanted to say, just because how you said it, Annie and April are both on a weekly meeting with me and some other people, and so for quite a while. And so there was April's journey, and then there's Annie's journey. And what I want to do is make sure that those are separated. They walked with each other in each other's spaces, if you will, and continue to do so. April transitioned. Annie is
thriving.
Thank you. Annie is thriving. So I want to make sure that those two are quite individuated. Yes. And I think it was, and this is just me speaking, incredibly courageous for Annie in her challenge to be right there for April, because I can only imagine how traumatic that could be to watch somebody have an issue and be struggling with my own. And anyway, Annie is one of the most courageous people I know. Yes. So keep sending her prayers. She loves them. Be assured, I do believe that she's thriving.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yay. Thank you.
Yes. She can weigh in here.
And for those of you who just, maybe haven't realized, we have food on the table. We've got fruit, and we've got bagels, and we've got cookies, and we've got coffee, and all sorts of things. What? Bananas. Bananas and apples and grapes. Oh my. Yeah, and oranges. Oh, hey. Maybe no service, just munch. No, we're gonna have service. And the coffee is ready in the back. And I don't mind if you're sitting and drinking coffee while we're doing service. That's perfectly okay with me. And yes, Reverend Corky.
So the third Sunday of every month, we have what I term, what do I call it? Snack and chat. Snack and chat. Because everybody seems to really rally around after service having a little something to eat and a little something to say. So I brought apples, there's grapes and bagels and peanut butter and all kinds of things for people to snack on. And I invite anybody who would like to on the third Sunday bring something that's cool. Give me a call and we'll bring it. So I like to have something for the vegetarians and something for, that the vegetarians will have to share with us as omnivores. So anyway, so please, participate in your church. Thank you.
Thank you, Corky. Anybody have anything they'd like to talk about this morning? Yes. Oh, yeah, I bet I know what it is. Ta-da! You've got to show your chest to the people on Zoom. Yeah.
I'm not that fast. I'll get to it.
I could be over here, honey. Would that be better if I'm over?
Where do you want her, Ed?
Where do you want me, Ed?
Let me zoom so that Okay, go ahead, flaunt it. Okay, all right.
So, our Universal Church of the Master annual conference, which we weren't able to have one last year, but we're having one this year on May 18th. Please come and join us. Spirit-empowered growth is our theme. Spirit-empowered growth, how we can access the spiritual resources we have to grow into our fullness. And we want everyone to come, enjoy it, have fun, and register on the UCM website or talk to me or to Dottie or to Corky, and we'll get you set up. But please think about coming to the conference and bringing your friends. I've got a couple of new friends that are actually younger than me, Dottie, that I'm offering to bring it. It's a great spiritual enclave of many people. There are people in here that will be doing readings for us and special events, and we have incredible speakers. So please join us for a day of rejuvenation and a day of healing and being together in community.
So Scott Bartlett, whom you know.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes, it is. Absolutely, Joan. It will be amazing.
Yeah.
So Scott Bartlett's going to be the morning speaker?
Scout Bartlett is our morning speaker, and Gary Springfield is our afternoon speaker. He's going to lead us on a wonderful meditation. So it's going to be filled with wonderful things. And we have what? The $2 treasure table, and we also have a $5 treasure table. So we're going to have some fun.
Silent auction?
And silent auction, and our raffle. Thank you, Corky. You should be up here with me. Thank you. We have a silent auction, and we also have raffle tickets that you can buy right now to support. And it's a 50-50 raffle, so if you win, you get 50% of the profits.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, yes. Joan.
Well, I have two amazing events to announce. On next Saturday, 12 noon to 2 p.m. at the Healing Place, we're going to do some psychic development exercises and just to do a little practice on the whole psychic and spiritual messaging side. And Marie is going to be working with me. She doesn't come because she doesn't have a vaccination because of heart difficulties, so she can't come to church. But she's an amazing person, and if you haven't met her, this will be an opportunity for you to meet with her and work with her. So please bring a $10 donation to help cover the cost of the room. 12 to 2 next Saturday. I'm so excited about offering this. Okay, then the UCM, I will tell you that last year I did readings there. Because there's so many spiritual people and there's so much spiritual energy there, it's easy to do readings. So if you're just on, I was kind of on the edge. Should I or shouldn't I? What can I do? Blah, blah. You know how you doubt yourself? But I did a couple of, 3 or 4 readings, and they were amazing. So this would be a nice chance if you want to do readings and experience that. It would be a good chance for you to do that. And we'll be practicing doing some readings next Saturday. That will be part of the core class. Then the other church is having a psychic fair in June, and you can get a table for $75. Christine got a table. I'm getting a table. I think you can share a table. I don't think I need 6 feet to tell people, whatever I'm going to tell them. But if you want to be a part of that psychic fair, they're looking for speakers, they're looking for readers, they're looking for healers, they're looking for into the spiritual community to come and celebrate. So this might be another good opportunity for you. Now, I'm so organized today, thanks to Dottie's midnight message to me. Dottie and I are late owls. Okay, I have 2 things over there. One talks about the 3 things. Next Saturday, UCM, and then in June, the psychic fair. So that'll give you information you can pick up. And then there also is a sign-up sheet that looks like this that will help me remember that you're on the list for next Saturday. Okay, lots of good stuff happening, you guys.
Okay, May 5th. May 5th, we are going to have an honoring of our wonderful Reverend April Lussier. And what the honoring is, we want everyone to come and be prepared to say how you knew her. Well, she was an important part of at least 7 organizations. I sent out the message we were going to have an honoring for her, and within 2 hours I had 38 people signed up. And they're still signing up. We are going to have it at a mobile home park where Corky and I live, and in a huge hall, and so we're going to have plenty of space. It's May 8th, and it's going to be in the evening.
May 5th.
May 5th, did I say 8th? Cinco de Mayo, thank you both. Yeah, May 5th, and it's in the evening from 6 to 8, and we're going to have candlelight, and we're going to be doing music. We're also going to be listening to all of the people from the different groups that our wonderful Reverend April worked with. Many of you don't know, she was part of the La Leche League for years, well past the time that her kids were in high school. She was still helping women during that period of time. And how do you be a nursing mother, which was, you'd think you'd know it by naturally being a woman. It doesn't happen that easily in many, many cases. And she did that. She worked with the Foundry, which helped on kids who were going through difficult times as far as education, and also helped them find their path spiritually and emotionally, and she worked with them. She worked with Vortex Healing. She also worked with Taga, which our wonderful Reverend Becca Thompson is a part of and started. And Becca is going to be leading this group that we're having on May 5th. And if you haven't met April, her energy is incredible. See what happens when I get up here sometimes? Thank you so much for the correcting. I love it. And the thing that I'm so excited about with all these people coming together is that we're not going to do a big production. We're going to let everybody who has a little bit to say about April. And it might be just, I'm glad I knew her. It might be whatever. We're going to try, Ed is going to try to help us to somehow record it for her family back east. Heard from the cousins and sisters-in-law and that type of thing, where they are really interested and would like to find out what's going, but didn't want to make that trek here. And you know what the deciding thing was for one person? How much is your gasoline a gallon? And I said, well, most places over $5. She said, oh, here, it's just barely $3. And so she was worried. She thought she'd come out to California and drive it from here to Oregon. And that kind of was maybe I won't, maybe I'll do something else. And but let April know that we're thinking of her. And I said, I'd like you to let her know that you're thinking of her. So for those of you who can't make this honoring, we're going to mention again next week. If we want us to remember this beautiful woman, there was so much that she did behind the scenes that none of you knew. None of you knew about. None of you knew the work she did with the goddess. And so much that she has done, working to bring up the feminine side of God. And has many people who have followed her and gone to her retreats. Her retreats were up in the Santa Cruz Mountain, and that was a time that women could go and get in touch with their spirituality. And it was amazing how many women reported to me, oh, and we did this and this and this and this, and it was just sounded like it was fantastic to go. And so when she said that how much it took to park and then walk, I realized I wasn't going to be able to make it. But she would tell me all about it and all the people that were there. So we're keeping her in our heart. It might sound like, but Dottie, we talked about April last week. Yes, but this week I'm coming from my heart. Because it's one of those things, have you ever lost someone and realized you hadn't cried? Yeah. Not because you're not emotional, but because you don't want it to be true. And that's the way I've been feeling with April. You know, I think if I could just do those tears, weep and moan, and then a little voice says, well, she's not really gone, Dottie. She's still here in your energies. Oh, so think about that. Because we have people like our wonderful Reverend Janet Childs, who works with death and dying. And if you want to talk to somebody because you lost someone in your family, or a really good friend like my sister April, think about it. Find somebody to talk to. It's okay to cry.
Come to the Center for Living with Dying.
Yeah, the Center for Living with Dying. It really works. And so we want you to be able to respect the person who's passed, but also respect yourself. Yes. And so to honor Earth Day, I'm going to be doing a poem that I really love, and this is also to honor April. And so if I could ask Jan to come up here and accompany me. And this is going to be kind of a meditation too, so please put your feet flat on the floor. Take whatever's on your lap and just put it on the floor. This is a nice floor to handle things. And close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Oh Gaia, goddess of whirling galaxies, rainforests and rivers, tides and thunderstorms. We've been too busy to notice how our choices affect our world. At last, for Earth Day, we're paying attention. You gave us a gift. We've been so careless, and now it's broken. We gather today, repentant, hopeful, and determined to restore, cleanse, and bring new life to earth, wind, and all creatures. Gaia, let us share your imagination. Let us be your finger, your pulse, as we tend this gift of earth, which holds and carries us all in the palm of her hand. And visualize how it feels to be held by a goddess who brings the storms and brings the sun to the earth, who weeps over the things we have done, the trash, the destruction of so many forests, the ruination of lakes and rivers. And just right now, through your gift of love and spiritual connection, visualize the energy in this poem, the energy in life that you can bring about by working with the goddess Gaia to bring about harmony, peace, love, joy, right here and right now.
Oh, Gaia, Gaia, we open up our hearts to you. We open up our lives to you, and we call you home. Gaia, 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 feel our arms around you. And we know we're not alone. Oh, we fall on your shoulders, fall in your lap, and we know that we are whole. And we are so sorry for all that we've done to harm your beautiful soul. Oh, Gaia, Gaia, we wrap our arms around you. Oh, Gaia, we call upon you to love and forgive us, and we can be woven into the fabric of light, woven into the sacred breath of night. And as the seasons turn, the seasons know we are with every step, bringing it home to our heart with every breath. Gaia, Gaia, we open up our arms to you. Oh, Gaia, Gaia, hold us dearly and teach us what we need to do. We will listen, we will bear witness to all that you are, and we know we're woven into the fabric of your heart. Oh, Gaia, Gaia, we love you, we honor you. We are right here taking this breath, and with every moment and every dream, we'll breathe in your sacred breath. And oh, can you be patient with me as we reach to each other? Oh, Gaia, we are a part of you. Your beautiful heart, your beautiful heart. our prayer is to you.
Oh, and take another deep breath and feel that. Feel that energy of the goddess that's protecting, surrounding, and taking care of our planet Earth. Thank you so very much, Janet. How she does that, I don't know. She gets up here 10 minutes before we started. She found out what the topic was. And she came up with music to go with it. To me, it's amazing. Thank you so very much.
It's my honor.
That was great. Well, one of the things that I'm going to be talking about today is called Know Your Own Soul. What is soul? What is that part of you that we're always talking about? What's the difference between soul and spirit? When you feel lost, how many of you have ever felt lost? Like you wake up going, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know where I'm going, and sometimes I don't even know where I've been. Anybody ever have that feeling? Yeah, and you feel kind of like you've got this wonderful soul, and why doesn't it know what you need and want? Well, because maybe you haven't convinced it that this is the direction you want to go into, and will it accompany you? And then we have spirit. And spirit is the God, the creator, the all that is. And so when you look out there, so many times you want to talk beyond yourself. You want to get creator involved because you feel lost and disoriented. And you think, well, yeah, but think about your own soul, because this is something that has been with you all your life. When you were born, we know you got a soul, but did you know your soul is what chose who your parents were going to be? Imagine you are in spirit, happy little kid, whatever you're doing in spirit, and all of a sudden your soul says, you're going to be born on the planet Earth to a woman who has 5 kids, no job, and her husband just left. Because I believe in you. You're going to help her. And you think, okay, soul, why'd you give me such a rough job? Why can't I be born rich, famous, and in a Kardashian? And yeah, and to one of the Kardashians, wouldn't that be great, you know? But what happens is soul says, why don't we do this? And then you start thinking about other lifetimes. Very seldom have I met a person that this is their first life. When I did, she was so bewildered, so scared, and so upset by everything. She had started getting treatment for being disoriented since she was 18 months old. She never understood what was going on. And what happened is that because she hadn't done this before. Many of us are old souls, and we go, You ever do that? Someone says, did you know that that person lied on their driver's test? And you go, you know, that's that person's karma. It's not mine. And so you think about that. Yeah, our soul is here to help us work. And the difference is, think of yourself as an automobile. Isn't that fun? And so here your body is this little automobile that you're in, and your soul is the engine. Just think of that. Your soul is the engine of this. And what happens is your spirit is the driver. The Creator is driving and helping us in everything, but your soul is driving your little automobile. Okay? So our little Lonnie automobile has this wonderful, wonderful soul driving it. And when you start talking to soul, it's amazing what happens. Don't confuse soul with spirit guide. There's a difference there. Because you might not have the same spirit guide the next time around. You might decide you need somebody else to help you. But your soul is always yours. And it's remarkable the things that it does. because it can kind of dictate your thoughts. Your soul is always there for your best and highest good, even if you don't think so. And you might want to go, wow, how to get us in this mess? No, it isn't. It's a situation that you need to handle for you to grow in your soul's growth, because your soul learns just like you do. You don't, you're in this in cahoots, okay? So when you think about that, but what happens if you want to change the blueprint of your soul? Have any of you ever looked at a blueprint and think, I don't want to do that? What do you mean the doorway's going to be on the back of the house? I want it on the front of the house. I'm not going along with this blueprint. Well, some of you want to change the blueprint. Talk to your soul. We're so used to asking Creator, would you help me with this? Talk to your own essence, talk to your own soul and say, what can we do to change the direction I'm going in? And you'll be amazed what happens in the response you get. Some of us are stuck in the goo of a past life. Some of us remember things that happened in a previous incarnation. And we're going, why do I have to repeat this? What good is it knowing about a past life? Talk to your soul. And so you can name your soul if you want, but it should be you. Janet's soul should be Janet 2 or something like that, just like, but just know we all have a soul there that is willing and able to help you, but we've got to be concise and help it change the blueprint. Maybe your blueprint in this life was to come in and feel the poverty around you by being born very poor, and what are you going to do about it? And you say to your soul, I think I've learned that lesson. Now in this lifetime, can we change the blueprint? And see what happens. Aren't you amazed when people talk about miracles? And they say, well, I don't know what happened, but I just thought I deserve a better place to live. And they get a call and says, hey, that apartment you just signed up for, it's yours now. Or I want another partner. And all of a sudden you meet somebody that night and you go, this is amazing. Well, you told your soul, let's change the blueprint. Because you're more in charge than you think you are, but tell your soul what it is you want. Instead of praying to Creator, which is great, why don't you just change the blueprint? This blueprint that you're walking on really is going to help. And when I was writing this talk down, believe it or not, I write talks down. I'm kind of like Joyce Brown. We write the talk, and that was the talk we wrote, and then this is the talk we give. But I had a client I was doing a reading on, and she was a very, very successful woman accountant for a local big company. And but she just felt so unhappy. And she said, why? Nothing's ever good enough. Why? I just feel so awful. What do I do? And I was doing a reading on her. So my spirit guide, Ma, said, you, in a past life, you were male, and during the Great Depression, you were a stockbroker, and you committed suicide. You jumped out of the tallest building in New York. And this woman says, what was my name? Who was I? Because she's in accounting. She's the head of accounting for this big company. She said, who was I? And I was about to say, and Ma says, don't tell her. She's got 2 of her kids her life. Talk about messing with a blueprint. How would it be if you found out in a past life you had some sons that were born in the 30s and are still alive? And your first reaction is, I want to go see them. No, that's going to mess up their blueprint. So I always tell people, when you're doing readings, be careful when you tell somebody about a past life that you're not interfering with their present blueprint. You can give them information that they can use. And I told her this, and she said, oh, So I'm trying to redo what I did in my last lifetime. And I said, yes. She said, do you know what she said? I'm not going to let them get me down again. I'm not going to do that. And I said, okay. And she said, but what about that family that's still grieving the loss of their father? And I said, that's their life. And that's what they're doing. And you can't interfere with somebody else's blueprint. And that's how I then started thinking about the blueprint that we have. And so now she's still an administrator in accounting of a very large Bay Area 500 company. And she spoke to her soul, and they set new parameters. And she's happier, and she's still going on still here on the planet. Because your soul has an independent identity, and that is distinctly you. When you look in the mirror, you see yourself, but you also see that soul energy. And sometimes you look in the mirror and it's not even quite you. You wonder, who's that? Your soul is shining through. So take a chance to look at it. And then when we get to the place where we realize we're going to be making the transition, your soul is there with you, but sometimes it's ready to go. And as I'm sure Janet and people who work with death and dying realize, they see people when they're making their transition. And quite often it's their own soul. Because just because it's your soul doesn't mean it looks like you. There's an energy there. There's an entity there. And the soul's saying, come on, let's go. It's time to go. And other times, after they're gone, we still can feel that soul energy. When you're working with people who've passed on, and you can come in and you feel an energy, but it doesn't quite feel like them, but it almost does, that's their soul catching up. So just know that sometimes, like in all of life, we have a slow soul. That's hard to say. A slow soul. So we kind of have to watch and see what it's doing. And then, if you have problems with people making a transition, please talk to Reverend Janet Childs at the Center for Living with Dying. And also our wonderful Reverend Donna Christensen is becoming a death doula and can help people who are making that transition. And they're used to that energy that you can call whatever you want, but it's not your body. We know it's a soul energy, and you might call it part of spirit, okay? But let somebody help. Like I was saying, it was all I needed to do, I thought, was just cry. And one of these days, my soul's gonna say, okay, Dottie, you're ready. And then look out, I'll be doing it.
Good for you.
But spirit is a universal force. Everybody has a sense, even people who say they're atheists. If you say you're an atheist, you're saying you don't believe in something. When you say you don't believe in something, you believe there is something. Think about it. How many times have you woke up and you feel like, oh no, I think I've got a headache. No, I don't have a headache. I don't have a headache. And yet, way back here, you still feel a niggling little, yeah, the head doesn't feel as good as I thought it was going to. That's the same way when people say, I don't believe in Creator, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in a goddess, I don't believe. But still just saying the words, there's an energy in those words. So think about spirit as a universal force that is interconnected and it extends into all things. I don't know where your happy place is or your safe place is. For some of us, it's the ocean. How many of you go to the ocean and you sit on the sand and you feel the energy and you know that God, a spirit is there? How many of you go to a forest and you sit in the redwood trees? I mean, that's my favorite, is the redwood trees. And you know there's an essence, there's a spirit there. Then it's bigger than just you. And you can feel the energy and you go, ah, I feel at peace. I feel connected. And so, you know, as you do this, as you reconnect with your spirit, Sometimes you don't even have to name it. You know, I've had people say, well, I'm not a Buddhist, but I believe in the philosophy. Great. If you don't feel you want to belong to a group or a club, but you enjoy the energy, enjoy the energy. You don't have to label yourself. And isn't it nice sometimes not to have a label? And, you know, your label is Lonnie. That's you and your soul, is Lonnie. Okay, and somebody says, well, don't you believe in, you say, I'm Lonnie. That's good enough. And some days you might wake up and just thinking, and Jesus Christ is my Savior. Or you wake up and you said, what are they talking about with Muhammad? They don't know what they're talking about. What are you doing? You're picking up what the Creator is called in other countries or in other religions. And you're talking about it. And you're looking at it and saying, Creator sure looks different in a lot of different places, but it's still there. It's there. So Spirit is there. And if you have an everyday life without Spirit, it begins to feel dull. It's like the Spirit has the capacity to shine everything and make things glow. How many of you have done that? If you look at something and it seems to have a spirit all of its very own. Sometimes you see it in your animals. Sometimes you have a cat that just, you can just feel spirited. Sometimes you look at a garden and it's like the garden is alive with spirit. Start looking at the spirit all around you and realize that you are on a spiritual journey. But you also have a blueprint from your soul. And it's perfectly okay to get them mixed and say, well, I don't know whether this is spirit or soul. Neither does the Bible. You know, if you've ever sat down and read the Bible or the Bhagavad Gita, or if you ever looked at so many different great writings, they talk about spirit and then they talk about soul, and quite often they combine the two. Doesn't make any difference as long as you know for you who the difference is that's there with you. So to align your soul and to be connected with Spirit, God, Creator, Mother, Father, God, you need to look at your authentic purpose. What are you here for? Why are you here? What are you going to do? Our friend April took people on spiritual retreats to get in touch with the goddess. They went on those retreats and it changed their blueprint. It changed the way they thought. It helped embrace their soul. And she would be gone for 3 days, 4 days, out in the hills, in a beautiful place where you could run around naked if you wanted to, be in the hot tub. Be in touch with changing your blueprint. How many times are you given that power to change your blueprint? You don't need to have it given to you. Each one of you has the capacity to talk to your soul and say, I want to change my blueprint. But it really helps if you have a supportive environment to do it. Find people that support you. Find people that you can rely on. And find people that want to help you overcome obstacles, not get in your way. Everybody in this room is a helper. They're a spiritual being that was put here to help. So if you feel like, why do I always volunteer for everything? That's your blueprint. Okay, you came in to do that. You know, when I think of Kevin and Donna, and they drive all the way up here from Gilroy to get here early to help. You know, that's her blueprint. Donna wouldn't have gone into nursing if her blueprint didn't say she was here to help people. So when you look at what does your blueprint say, and what are you and soul doing to work on it? And so if the soul and spirit are both aspects of ourselves, what distinguishes one from the other? Your ability to perceive, You can call spirit anything you want. Hey, you, mother. Hey, you, father. And you can talk to your soul as if it is your left hand. You say, hey, soul, you're here. You're part of my blueprint. Let's see what we can do. And if you start reading up on what's the difference between soul and spirit, you'll find so many different religions that put them together and others that break them apart. It's just words. You know how you feel. You know when you feel God's energy around you, and you'll now know when you feel the energy within you. So the word soul stands for the entire metaphysical part of human. Isn't that interesting? Spirit is that part of us that connects to God. It is a vibrational source of energy. How can we possibly strengthen our soul energy and increase our spiritual connection? Easy. Get out in nature for Earth Day. Make a point of either sitting under a tree, listening to the ocean. Get in touch with those things that are there for you to make you feel like a whole person. Anytime you feel lost, reconnect in prayer and meditation. Some of the basic things that you can do. Attend spiritual events. Go to church. Doesn't have to be this church. It can be other churches. Go to a synagogue if you've never been to one. Go to a Catholic church. Go to what they used to call holy roller churches because they would have the music and everything else. Go visit other places. Don't feel there's just one path. God is just not a one-path being. It's a many, many different paths. And connect with new people. What I'm going to want you today to do for your connection is after service, go grab a chair, grab a place at the table, and meet somebody new. We've got a couple of new people in here you haven't met before. So new people, be on guard. We're going to have people come up and introduce themselves to you. And the other thing is, feel your feelings. Listen to what your soul is saying. Feel it. You don't always have to do exactly, but just like the blueprint, if you put the door in the back of the house, where are people going to come when they come to the front of the house? They're not going to know how to get in because you changed the blueprint. So start looking at what you can do to feel your feelings, listen to what your soul is saying, do an attitude of gratitude. Be grateful. Be grateful for the fact you walked in here on your 2 feet today. Be grateful that the sun is shining. Serve and support others who are in need and see the good in everybody else. You're sitting next to some beautiful souls. And so it is. Okay, thank you. Yes, Corky.
I'm going to come up. So that brings to mind
Yes.
when when we had Chris Call's memorial, and her partner put her ashes in a Garfield cookie jar, and the cookie jar just glowed. Remember that?
Oh, I do.
I've got the picture of it. Yeah, it was just amazing how it was. I don't know how.
We were talking about Chris, and all of a sudden somebody said, she's
It was sitting-
glowing.
Yeah, I was sitting on the chair on the dais, and then all of a sudden it just went. So there you go.
So, yeah,
That's soul for you.
and that was soul sitting there, yeah.
Let there be light, huh?
Let there be light, yeah. Anybody else have something that they want to say about? Did you learn something? Did it help? Isn't that what when you know who's talking to me? You know?
There's this man that his name is Robert Schwartz, and he's written 3 books. And one book is Soul's Plan, the other one is Soul's Gift, and then the last one that he wrote was Soul's Love.
Now, one more time, what's his name?
Robert Schwartz.
Robert, okay, we're gonna put you on mic.
No, we're not. This is good information, so. There we go.
Okay. His name is Robert Schwartz, and he's also on YouTube. And like I say, he's written the 3 books, and each one of them is fantastic. So you just pick out, which one that you want. Yeah. Pardon?
Say the names of the book.
The names of the book.
Oh, the names of the book again. Okay, one is Soul's Plan. That's the first one. Soul's Gift, and then Soul's Love.
Wow.
And they're fantastic. And
Sound
then, like I
great.
say, he's on YouTube too, so you can get them all of, yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, that was Reverend Juliet Bristow, and we're always so glad to have you here. That is
Yeah.
just, I've admired you for so many years, but then you left, and then you came back. So your soul.
Yeah. My soul said, okay, it's time. Yeah, my soul said, it's time to go home. It's time to go home, you see. And I said, what do you mean it's time to go home? Because I thought, They said, no, you're going to California for good. So I was in Arizona for 20 years. And then I'm in, and as soon as I get settled and everything, I'm in Gilroy right now. But as soon as I get settled and everything, then I'll know what I can do and where I'm going. But I was guided, and I'm very much into soul searching and because that's where all the answers are. That's where all our answers are.
Right.
And then it goes with other people's too, but it's more for what we're here for, so to speak.
And
Yeah.
Juliet, I'm going to want you to talk to Donna and Kevin, because they live in Gilroy.
Yeah, I talked to them before, yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes,
That is
yes.
wonderful. Robert Schwartz.
And
Okay.
that's where it's at.
And it's so, yeah, anybody else want to say something today? This is an open mic, as it were.
Do we have any birthdays, Dottie?
I didn't ask, and I've been asking for months. And the one month that I didn't ask, somebody said, it was my birthday. And I think, was it Christine, your birthday that we missed? No? Okay. So, do we have any birthdays? That's an empty chair, Ed. That's the way I feel when I ask for birthdays. Anybody have a birthday coming up this week? Well, Mother Earth, happy Earth Day. That is wonderful. We are going to pass the basket. And what I want you to do today is something completely different. If you don't have something you're putting in the basket, be sure to bless the basket so we can get your energy, okay? And whatever you put in the basket, bless it when you put it in the basket. Make sure if you have any prayer requests that you put them in the little brown jug up here. Then they get read and released. And so we want to help you with your prayer requests. And we want you to know that if you want to give a talk, if you have a talk you would like to give, please talk to Corky about it. She's the one who sends out our CCL Insights. If you haven't received CCL Insight that goes out every Thursday, please talk to Corky, because some of you have changed your email and we don't know it. And so, because it tells all of the things we've talked about, when it's happening, why it's happening, how it's happening, and particularly about the UCM conference. So if you are not on the CCL Insights, please see Corky and we'll do it. And Mary, you do this so well. Thank you so very much for passing the basket. That's something that is remarkable. Here we go.
I'm going to read this, and I'm going to read it slowly so we can kind of think about it and understand that this is a blessing, that sharing is a blessing. And you can say it with me. I give thanks for my spiritual community. I live in a world of freedom and abundance. I am happy to support my spiritual community. Thank you, universe, for your love and support.
And so it is. And our wonderful Reverend Joan wrote that.
Yay. I want to mention that the speaker for UCM,
Arlene Phelan.
Arlene, mentioned Jack Schwartz's books also. Yeah, and so that's something I think that we need to look into and explore.
Did you all get the list of the books that the UCM has that they, all you have to do is go through the list and let them know what books you want. So please, if you haven't gotten the list, let them know. Call the UCM office and say, I didn't get the list of all the books that are needing a home. Okay.
Did we have people on the Zoom?
Yeah. Ed, do we have people on Zoom?
Yes,
Is that it?
we're at that point.
Yes, it is. It's 11:55. We're at that point.
All right, so let's see. We have a bunch of hellos. And then from Ann Corbin, thank you, Chris and Dottie. I am doing well. Please do keep the prayers and positive thoughts coming. And let's see, from Diane, thank you so much, Rev, Dottie, and everyone. Many blessings to each and every one. From Donna C., that was a lovely meditation and talk. Thank you. And back to Ann Corbin, wonderful service, beautiful meditation and talk. Seeing and feeling the light in the soul of April and all of you. I love you all. From Sky, I love you, Mama Boon. Now the service is complete with that. And from P&J, a.k.a. Patty and Joyce, wonderful service all the way around. T.Y.
Thank you. Thank you, Ed.
I want to mention Joyce's talk last week. If you were not here, it sounds like this is off. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
If you were not here last week to listen to Joyce, you want to go back and listen to that, or even if you were here, go back and listen to it again. It was wonderful. And Janet, I have this fabulous idea for you. We'll get Ed to pick up some of your meditations and put them on a tape or a CD or something. Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be great? I would love to have some of your meditations to listen to at home.
Okay, and before we have a closing prayer, did you want to say something, Reverend Chris?
Well, we were going to sing a song if we could.
Oh, do you mind standing
No,
there for a
I don't
minute
care.
while they sing a song?
No, come on.
Come on up.
I'd
It
love.
was Chris's idea, and I think it's going to be right on.
Okay.
But I just need the words.
While they're getting ready, I'll mention that I was in Sedona this past week and talk about honoring Mother Earth. What a wonderful place to do that. It was just, how many of you have been to Sedona? Yeah, it was just incredibly beautiful.
And I think we're going to do it without the guitar, just so you can hear the words.
So is this kind of a closing prayer?
Read here. Read this.
Do you want this to be our closing prayer? Can it work that way?
Can it work that
Yeah,
way?
let me just read to you the translation.
Beautiful.
Peace be unto you, ye ministering angels, angels of the Most High, ye that come from the supreme King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He. May your coming be in peace, ye ministering angels, angels of the Most High, ye that come from the supreme King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He. So just go to there. Oh, wait.
I'll follow you.
Okay.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimei mi melech malachim hakadosh baruch hu, hakadosh baruch hu.
Thank
And
you
it
so
just
very
draws
much.
on that
Just-
very
just
same
did so much.
Thank you.
Just-
That was great. I love having the opening for the goddess and the closing with a Jewish Hebrew song. Yeah, that is a wonderful connection. And Joan,
We're going to say, and so it is, and have a beautiful Earth Day on this beautiful sunshiny day.
yay! Thank you so very much. Please stay, have something to munch, so I don't have to take bagels home, okay?